Welcome to the Confident Host podcast with me, Kay Gibbs. If you're a holiday let host or co-host looking for more bookings, more efficiencies, and to get ahead, then you are in the right place. Each episode brings you practical tips, real stories, and expert advice. On today's episode, we talk Facebook and why I believe it could and should be your best booking tool. So let's get started. I have been looking forward to recording this podcast since I did the very first one because I think this can change the way you think about marketing your holiday let for the better. Today, we are talking Facebook and the 10 reasons. I could have chosen 20, but I've found and decided on 10 reasons why I think Facebook could be your best booking tool. Now, I get about a third of my bookings, if I take a kind of rough average over all the listings, over all the years, about a third of my bookings come from Facebook, about a third come from Airbnb, and about a third come from other direct sources. I love that. And I love the specific kinds of breaks that I can achieve on Facebook and the guests that come through there. I just love it. I can't speak highly enough of it. Now, that said, you might be listening to this and going, but Kay, I spend hours on there and I'm getting nothing. That's with respect about how you use the tool. So I'm going to dive in straight away and say that if you know you could be doing things more effectively on Facebook, and Facebook Fix, the details will be coming up later. It's my coaching group. That's for you. So have a look at that. But let's dive in with 10 reasons why Facebook could be your best booking tool and I think should be, as opposed to other places that you can get bookings. Number one, people are already scrolling on Facebook. People are there after their dinner, sitting down, having a brew and scrolling on Facebook. Now, the vast majority of people, perhaps not me, I'm doing it, but most people are not just randomly scrolling around on Airbnb or on booking.com or even just scrolling around their map nearby looking at places to stay, okay? But they are scrolling on social media. And so Facebook is so powerful because you have this opportunity to put your billboard in people's living rooms every evening when they're sitting down after dinner. That is not the case elsewhere. And I think sometimes we can approach Airbnb or Booking or wherever with this idea that it's like a catalogue that people are going to flick through and find you. That just isn't the case. They're going to come to those places with an agenda. When they have something specific in mind, they will search on those specifics, may or may not find you, may or may not click on you, may or may not book you. Facebook, however, you've got the audience sitting there waiting to be shown what you want to show them. So get your product out there in front of them because they're literally a sitting audience. Number two, voice. People buy from people. Now, as I've just said, on any of the standard booking platforms, you get the chance to sing about your property and you can put in lots of personality there, but you don't get the chance to tell them time and time again who you are, why it matters, and what's the kind of story behind your place and you and how personal it is. Facebook gives you this chance to weave into their psyche all of this knowledge and all of this stuff about who you are and why it matters to you. A listing doesn't do that. A listing allows you to say, here's the accommodation, look at these lovely taps, look at the lovely towels we provide. It doesn't allow you to build up so much. I never recommend to people on Airbnb that they use more than, say, 25, 30 photos tops. And in that, you just can't get who you are and why it matters across. Facebook gives you the opportunity to not just sell your property, but the person behind that and the person for whom it matters so much. Hello, it's just me coming on to interrupt me to tell you about Facebook Fix. Facebook Fix is the coaching group for you if you are looking to work on your Facebook presence, to make Facebook work for you and to get bookings for this year. If you're currently not using Facebook or if you're using it and feeling unsure and never quite sure what to post and how to word things and what to do and where to use your energy, this is for you. You can find out more or sign up to be on the early birds list or maybe even sign up, depending on when you're listening to this, at www.kaygibbs.com/Facebook Fix. And as ever, come and find me on Facebook and ask me anything at all there. I'll see you in there. Number 3 is storytelling. And similarly, on an Airbnb listing or a booking.com listing, you get the idea. You have the chance to show people, but you can only present the listing and it's up to them where they look and which bits they look at. And they might not look at that photograph of mummy's wellies next to the baby wellies because we're going to go out on an adventure on a countryside walk. Whereas on Facebook, you get to lead the story. You get to frame the experience. People buy because of the stories we share and picturing themselves subconsciously or consciously doing those things. So on Facebook, if you can hold their hand and take them through that story, you're able to market your place to them in a way you could never achieve on any of the booking platforms. So make sure you don't miss that chance to tell the story. We need to share images of our accommodation and the basics, but Facebook also gives you this chance to share the story of a stay at your place and what that experience is going to be like. Number 4, visual content. Facebook and Instagram too are built for visual content. It's not built for facts and figures. It's built for you to show, not just tell, but show prospective guests, prospective visitors, anyone who's interested, how gorgeous your place is. And we're selling holidays and accommodation and beautiful places. So we have this opportunity to pair a platform that wants to see those visuals with gorgeous visuals that we've got from our properties and the areas around our properties. Again, the other platforms just don't offer you that. Social media wants your visuals, wants your little snippet videos and your gorgeous picture of the landscape. So give it to them. Number 5 is one of my very favorites. Now, Airbnb has a review system, but that review system, while it is effective, and I quite like it, is completely static. There's no kind of referral scheme. Sure, there's that little arrow on the top right where people can click and share and send it to their friends. But Facebook is a social media platform. It is built for sharing. It has a review system that when someone reviews your place, that review will pop up on quite a few of their friends, and not just their friends, but the people they went to school with in year 8, will pop up on quite a lot of their feeds. It's a social platform. It's built for connection. It's built for sharing. It is a wonderful feeling, I'm sure you're familiar with, when someone tags their friend in the comments of something that you've written to say, oh, we should go here. It's built for that in a way that, again, the online travel agents just cannot compete with. Any interaction that any prospective guest makes on your Facebook page means that that will get shown to people like them, their friends, and other people who might come to visit. So any engagement you can create rolls and creates more engagement. If you don't feel like you're doing that already, then that's really something to tap into. Number 6 is another of my favorites. Maybe they're all my favorites. But number 6 is that you have a captive audience. This is incredible in marketing terms. So let's say you've had a guest. You've done your absolute best job. You've left out a postcard. Maybe you've sent them home with a fridge magnet or a bookmark or a teddy bear for the kids. I don't know. But you're confident, you're pleased, you're chuffed with yourself because you've got the brand home with them. And they're going to be reminded of you and that brand and that they should rebook for next year every time they see it. Great stuff. But if you can get them to follow you on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, if that's your thing, that means you're getting that brand in front of them again most days if you play it right. If you can keep their engagement up, you are building more and more touch points because you've got this captive audience. They are so much more likely to rebook if you've got them following you on Facebook or elsewhere. Now, the same is true with those people who haven't visited yet. If they find you on a group and they follow you and then you pop up on their feed 10 times, 20 times, you're creating those touch points that is a marketer's dream to have that many touch points. That's the equivalent of, I don't know, going on the tube and seeing 10 different billboards all advertising the same thing. They're doing that in their living room simply by being on their feed. If you can get them to follow, that stuff is golden. Now, let's think about the OTA equivalent. Sure, on Airbnb, you can add to a wish list, but that wish list, people only see that wish list when they then go on and look for the wish list. They don't sit scrolling in front of Corrie on their Airbnb wish list. They just don't, folks, with the best will in the world. Whereas Facebook offers us this opportunity to create a captive audience, and people are often surprised how small that audience needs to be to generate a lot of your bookings because you create those touch points. The sales are made with relatively few followers if you're doing it right. Number 7, community. Now, as we said, Facebook is built as a social media platform. So the idea is that you're sharing and getting to know people and being all chatty. And I find it's a really brilliant platform to get to know local businesses. So if you've got a partnership with a business, say a cafe or a restaurant or an attraction that you recommend, it's a great place to build those bridges on social media. It's a little bit easier than kind of walking in and being really bold and saying, I'd like to partner with you. It's that a little bit easier done on Facebook to start you off. Maybe you've got people that you use them in your hamper, or it could be a taxi company, anything like that, where you can develop some mutual support on Facebook. There's ways of doing that. You can tag them and see if they're reciprocating that and see if it's something you want to get into. And that means when someone posts on a local group, or say they're asking on a platform other than Facebook, you've made yourself known among those other businesses and you've just built some goodwill and you've built a community. It's a good old-fashioned community, but in a modern wrapper. And I think that's a real win. Number 8 is Facebook groups. groups. Now, this is unique to Facebook. You don't get this over on Instagram. And for me, it's where bookings on Facebook have really kicked off, particularly when I first started using it for marketing. If you're not currently using groups, it is where it's at. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, but Kay, I post there all the time and I don't get this. There are ways of posting in groups and ways of making it work. And in Facebook Fix, it's one of the things that we have as a whole unit on how to do it effectively. The beauty of groups is you get your name out there, you convert a few people over, and they're not going to book right now, but you create them into your captive audience. There's some brilliant groups out there to look for. Where else in marketing your holiday let do you get the chance to walk into a room, pitch to a group of people who've already decided they're looking for what you have, and tell them all about your place? I mean, it's gold. It's gold. Number 9. Now, number 9 is my favorite thing from a kind of businessy, financially kind of point of view. Number 9 is about immediacy and flexibility. So something I love about Facebook, and a reason it can be such a good marketing tool, is that you can market exactly what you've got. So let's say you're on booking.com and you've got like 2 nights randomly next week left. Now, sure, you can reduce the minimum nights to 2. You can add a special offer for those particular nights, but you can't specifically say to anyone, hey, I've got these 2 nights and they're going to be really good. You have to kind of fit it in amongst everything else. On Facebook, there are no rules about that. You can say, I've got these 2 nights next week, and because they're just these 2 nights, I can offer you it at this price. Or you can say, because, and you don't say this bit publicly, because I know I'm going to be out for the day and I won't be back till this time to do the clean, you can have a late checkout. So you can advertise exactly what you've got. Conversely, let's say you've got a funny 8-night gap in the summer. You might advertise, look, I've got this 8-night gap, or I've got this 7-night gap, but with a super late checkout if you want to. You can really personalize and say the exact offer that you've got. So I love Facebook for filling specific gaps that I've got, because I can alter the price to be exactly what I want it to be. I can alter the number of nights, and I can kind of add those extras, like book this week and you'll get an extra bonus hamper because I've got loads of raspberries in the garden, or, you know, whatever it needs to be. You can really personalize to that exact offer that you've got at that moment, and it's totally immediate. Now we're on to number 10, and I now realize this is my favorite one, folks, and it's yours too. I wonder if you're even thinking, oh, perhaps she's forgotten this one. It's free, isn't it? It's free. You'd have to pay. There's no commission. Where else in the world do you just get free advertising to hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people? It's amazing. Yes, you do need to use your time. And yes, using some time is a prerequisite of having success. You can't expect Facebook to work for you if you're going to give it 10 minutes a week for 3 weeks. You know, that's just not going to happen. But what you can expect is that if you apply your time carefully, purposefully, and don't just get caught up in things that we've all found ourselves doing that just take time but aren't actually effective. If you use your time effectively and carefully, and you consider that you're paying yourself that 17-18% that would be being taken by one of the online travel agents, then you're going to make really good money for the time that you spend, because you not only don't have the commission, but you also might make more money because of number 9, where we can make it flexible. You're selling to your absolute ideal guest. They're already there as a captive audience. You hopefully won't have to spend very much time converting them, because you've already been showing them over the weeks and months all the brilliant things about your place. So yeah, let's not forget that it's free. So those are my 10 reasons why Facebook could be your best booking tool. If you are not using it, you should be. Next time on the podcast, it's me telling you all about the most stressful month I've ever had as a host, the mistakes that I made, the problems it caused, and how I resolved it with a heck of a lot of goodwill, and what we can all take away from that. See you next time.